Hello and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live from our studios at Kukumimle Joy 99.7 in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Bewa Radio Yendi, Gaskia FM Tichiman, Jata FM Karaga, and KTU Radio Kofridia. Our global audience can download the My Joy Online app from the Play Store and App Store to listen live. And coming up, possible rift between the executive and legislature. Attorney General says Parliament lacks the power to use a resolution to control the process of admission into the Ghana School of Law, despite threats that he will be hauled to answer questions should the GLC fail to admit students who met the advertised pass mark.
The agencies may not come to us directly, but the Attorney General is answerable to Parliament, and it may be called to Parliament to explain why the resolution cannot be respected.
We have details. Tussle between the police hierarchy and the legislature rages over the Medina MP. We'll hear from the minority leader who says he's ready to walk the MP to the police.
A head-on collusion between Parliament and the IGP and the police is not healthy for our democracy. We need to encourage the IGP, but on this matter, I believe strongly that he's overstepping his bounds.
Meanwhile, a private legal practitioner is urging the police to seek interpretation on the limitations of Article 117 at the Supreme Court. We'll hear from him and the police as it heads to court to seek criminal summons to enable them arrest the MP. A victim of a witchcraft accusation and an attack that nearly ended her life. We'll hear the story of 61-year-old Mary Ibrahim, who is still crying for justice.
Before I could talk, they started slapping me and they slashed me with a machete. I started bleeding in the nose and mouth. So I asked them why they were attacking me. They said I was a witch.
And of course, as the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair prepares to wrap up today, we'll hear from patrons enjoying good discounts in sports.
After Ghana's Black Queens failed to qualify for the next edition of the Women's African Cup of Nations following a 2-1 aggregate loss to Nigeria, President of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreko, has made a clarion call at CAF to change the format of its qualifiers.
And later, as the dust settles on the Shatawale prophecy hoax shooting incident, we'll tell you why pastors who manhandle members of their church in the name of prophecies and miracles could land in jail.
We are not saying do not do your work. Be careful how quickly you touch people.
You want to stay for details of that. Thank you for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. I'm Arba Kumsin. In our first story, Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame says Parliament lacks the power to use a resolution to control the process of admission into the Ghana School of Law. This comes in the wake of a threat issued by Parliament that it will drag the AG to answer questions should the GLC fail to comply with the parliamentary resolution. Parliament on Friday directed the AG to ensure that students who obtain the advertised pass mark are admitted into the professional law program. This came in the wake of concerns by 499 students that they got at least 50% in the entrance exam but were denied admission.
At the conclusion of the debate, the question is all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All against the motion, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Ghana General Legal Council is hereby directed to proceed and admit all the students who pass in accordance with the advertised rules of the examination. Thank you.
So that was First Deputy Speaker Jose Wusu there last Friday with that directive. Well, lectures for the students who are admitted begin today, and the 499 students are yet to hear from the school despite this parliamentary directive. Listen to some of them.
Lectures officially takes off on campus today, but the school has not communicated to us. We've not heard anything from them yet. We are still hopeful that we are going to hear something positive by the close of the day. You know, the Parliament's resolution came Friday, and we are hopeful that if there will be any action at all, at least it has to start from today. So we are still counting on them, and we know they will hit to the call by Parliament.
We have not heard anything from the school. We are of the strong conviction that the directive from Parliament came last Friday, somewhere in the afternoon. So, given the benefit of doubt, there are two things, maybe some meetings to be done on that Friday, Then from this Monday, today onwards, probably we're going to hear good news from the General Legal Council through the Ghana School of Law. So we are hoping that by close of business today, some good news will come up. I think that I've heard a lot of commentaries, but I think this should not be, a turf war where the grass will actually, suffer, which is us. We think that whatever it is, the General Legal Council should have heed to the directive of Parliament and speed up processes for us to be able to join our colleagues, have lectures.
So you heard there's some students who were denied admission into the Ghana School of Law. The latest on this matter is the letter to Parliament from the AG stating his position on the matter. My colleague Joseph Akable has a copy. He joins me with more. Why does the AG believe Parliament does not have such powers?
And so specifically, a portion of the letter indicates that whilst recognizing the general legislative powers of Parliament in Ghana, except as have been circumscribed by the Constitution, I'm constrained to advise that Parliament is devoid of a power through the use of parliamentary resolutions to control the process of admission into the Ghana School of Law. The mode of exercising legislative power enshrined in Article 106 of the Constitution does not admit of resolutions. In accordance with Section 13(1)(e) and F of the Legal Professions Act 1960, that is Act 32, the power to regulate admission of students to pursue courses of instruction leading to qualification as lawyers and to hold examinations which may include preliminary, intermediate and final examination has been vested in the General Legal Council. It is correct to state that Section 1.5 of Act 32 stipulates thus the Council shall in the performance of their functions comply with any general directions given by the Minister. So it goes on to say that in the respectable opinion, the power to instruct the GLC is one that is reserved for the executive. He now goes on to make an interesting revelation that there's a petition that has been received at the presidency by the 499 students, and that petition has been referred to his office. And so he says that the president directed me to, pursuant to Section 1.5 of Act 32, make the necessary intervention to the General Legal Council on behalf of the 499 students to address this issue. With the constraints, I'm following up on the directive of the president to make the necessary interventions on behalf of the 499 students.
All right, Joseph, the Attorney General has also been speaking about the issue of the advertised pass back. What does he have to say about this matter?
He makes reference to a 14th May 2021 advertisement that was put in a daily graphic by the General Legal Council, and he says that it did not state a pass mark of 50% or any at all as a basis for admission. The notice stated that applicants may be granted admission if they have passed the entrance examination conducted by the General Legal Council. The notice also did not state the manner in which a pass mark set by the GLC would be determined. It is clear, therefore, that the contention that originally announced or advertised pass mark was 50% is erroneous and insupportable, he adds. And so he goes on to reproduce that particular notice that was put out and ends by saying that I hope the contents hereof clarify the limits of the power of Parliament in the matter of regulation of admission into the Ghana School of Law. Please accept the assurances of my highest consideration. It's signed by Godfrey Dami, Attorney General.
All right, many thanks, Joseph Akaple, with details of that letter from the Attorney General to Parliament. Well, First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Jose Wusu, on the probe yesterday, stated that they expected the GLC to comply with the parliamentary order. He says Parliament will demand answers from the Attorney General should the directive be ignored.
If Parliament, the representative of the people, the agency that created, the arm of government or the institution that created the agency, that imbued it with all the powers, cannot ask them to follow the rules they make, please, the Attorney General is answerable to Parliament. The agencies may not come to us directly, but the Attorney General is answerable to Parliament, and it may be called to Parliament to explain why the resolution cannot be respected.
First Deputy Speaker Jose Wusu speaking on the probe with my colleague MFA Pau there. I'm ready to walk the Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, to the Inspector General of Police or any police station, so long as due process and the Speaker's directives are respected and complied with. That's the Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu, as they maintain their stand on the impasse between the police and Parliament. The MP has refused to comply with an arrest order because he enjoys privileges established by law and he has the full backing of the Speaker, Alban Bagbin. We'll hear from the Minority Leader shortly, but first, my colleague Elton Broby has a copy of the Speaker's letter to the police. What is the Speaker saying, Elton?
So, about the Speaker through this letter says that the Deputy Clerk says, I'm directed by the Speaker to inform you that proceedings of the third meeting or the first session of the 8th Parliament commenced on Tuesday, 26 October 2021, and having regard to the limitations of Article 117 and 118 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic, the Member of Parliament for Medina is unable to release him to the police for the police to continue with their investigation on this matter. There's another link to this statement in which the police again is directed to ensure that ACP Isaac Kojo Asante and ACP Eric Wimford of the Accra Regional Police Command are also released to assist in investigation in a matter of contempt before the Privileges Committee of Parliament.
All right, many thanks, Elton. Now, at the center of this controversy is the constitutional limitation of Article 117, which, among others, stipulates that MPs cannot be arrested whilst attending to the business of Parliament. Listen to Speaker Alban Bachwin.
I can only, under Order 31, direct that the matter be referred to the Committee of Privileges and let people know that members of Parliament have some special rights because of the peculiar nature of the position, the functions, and the duties of the Member of Parliament. It's not during my tenure of office that I will sit still, stare, and allow those things to be flouted with impunity. It won't happen.
Well, private legal practitioner Ace Ananankoma says the confusion over the article must be settled by the Supreme Court, and he wants the police to act on it.
Two people, two institutions have put contrasting meanings on the same provision. So here we have the police who believe that, well, this has been overextended. We ought to be able to ask him to invite the MP, him or her, to come in for questioning. And the Speaker says, no, I won't release him. So here the Speaker has assumed the power to be the one to determine when to release, when he says that it is his certificate that the person is attending proceedings that is conclusive evidence. His certificate. He can't say, I won't release him. It is your certificate. Now, if the Speaker issues a certificate that the person is attending Parliament, when the person is indeed not attending Parliament, then that's a breach of the Constitution. It could be a high crime. So my suggestion will be, police, go to court. Ask for a constitutional interpretation of Articles 117 and 118. Let the Supreme Court tell us the circumstances under which this applies. If the Speaker is issuing a false certificate, any Speaker of the Parliament, not Speaker of Ghana, we don't.
That's a private legal practitioner, Ace Ankoma, there. Well, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisa tells my colleague Elton Brobe, Parliament will only comply with the police notice when due process is respected.
We are law-abiding. We are not above the law. We've always subjected ourselves to the Constitution and the laws of Ghana. Any day, any time, I'm ready to walk in to the IGP or to the Greater Accra Regional Police Command or to any other law enforcement agency with the Honorable Sosu, provided due process is followed and our processes and procedures for 7 sitting members of Parliament with criminal and civil processes are respected. This is all we are demanded, but not equating ourselves as being above the law or above law enforcement. Seldom to add, read Article 57(5) of the Constitution. The President shall not be subject to any criminal or civil proceedings whilst in office. Is that to suggest that tomorrow any overzealous police can say that he is demanding to investigate the police, and then we say that yes, let him proceed because the President is not above the law, because the President is also a citizen of Ghana.
So this decision of being ready to walk to the IGP or any police station with the honourable member in question, is it outside of the Speaker's directive that the member cannot be available for questioning by the police?
No, the Speaker is simply demanding respect for process and procedures. The Speaker will never stand the way of justice, obstruct law enforcement. A head-on collusion between Parliament and the IGP and the police is not healthy for our democracy. We need to encourage the IGP, but on this matter, I believe strongly that he's overstepping his bounds.
Minority Leader Haruna Idris in that interview with my colleague Elton Brobe. Now, as you know, an attempt to arrest the embattled MP yesterday during a church service was foiled. Joy News is learning the bodyguard of the Medina MP has been interdicted. Minority Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak is lashing at the police for the decision to interdict the police officer.
The best committee to deal with this is the privileges. Let's go there. When we go there, all the issues will play. There will be evidence, there will be videos, everything. That will show. Now, this evening, maybe around 4:30, then we heard the police bodyguard of the MP has been interdicted. Yes, and they're taking him to the house to take all his police equipment. That is bullish. You have been a bully. You have been a bully.
There was no communication from the police service?
No.
To the MP?
No.
No reasons have been given for his interdiction?
That is a privilege issue, because this gentleman was tasked to protect the MP. Mm-hmm. You interdict him, no notice to the MP. You see, you are becoming a bully. Let's watch it. Because you see, every dictator that you've seen was once a benevolent person.
Minority Chief Whip Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak there. Well, the police has responded to that. Elton joins me with a statement. What does it say?
So, Araba, the police is confirming that indeed the police officer in question has been interdicted for alleged misconduct. Now, they are explaining the reason why. According to the statement, he is alleged to have recklessly driven into a crowd after a protest last Monday, October 25th, 2021. In the Medina constituency, directly endangering the lives of 2 senior police officers and other civilians. The 2 officers have officially reported the incident to the police administration for investigation and possible disciplinary action. The Parliamentary Protection Unit has been tasked to assign a new bodyguard to the MP for Medina, according to the statement.
All right, many thanks, Elton. And speaking of the police, they are heading to court to seek an order of criminal summons to arrest the Medina MP. Here's Director General in charge of Public Affairs, ACP Kwesi Fori.
We can go in, with a criminal summons, serve him, and if he fails, and in the wisdom of the court, it issues a warrant of arrest, then we implement it.
ACP Kwesi Fori is Director General in charge of Public Affairs at the Police Service. Let's turn our attention to the Ashanti region, and at least 8 members of the Jobbing Municipal Assembly were captured in a viral photograph kneeling down at the Jobbing Hinnis Palace. The story had been that they were apologizing for failing to approve the president's nominee for Municipal Chief Executive. The Jobbing Traditional Council and the Assembly members have today been explaining what exactly happened. A member of the Assembly, Emmanuel Gallo, says they were asked to kneel and apologize for organizing a press conference despite meeting and holding talks with the traditional ruler geared at addressing concerns regarding the non-approval of the president's nominee. He spoke on the Super Morning Show.
We got there, then he said to us that he is unhappy about we doing press conference without informing him. So we asked for permission, as is done at the palace, to go back and come and plead with him that we are sorry. Then we were asked to kneel down to accept that indeed we've done the wrong thing, that is doing the press conference without informing Nana. So
who asked you to kneel down?
No.
Who asked you to kneel down?
One of the chiefs asked us to kneel down. So we did it, and that there were many. So to be honest, I will not be in the position of recognizing the name. So we did that. And Nana said, okay, I have accepted it. If indeed you have done this, then go back and vote. Then members said that no, they won't. So Nana said, how many of you want the voting to take place today? I was among the people who said we wanted to take place on that day. We were 8 in number, 4 elected and 4 appointees, and 18 said no. So Nana was not happy with that statement, and he asked us to leave the palace. That is what happened. So we are not kneeling down because we voted no. No even election took place. So how could somebody vote no and be kneeling down?
Well, Registrar of the Jobbing Traditional Council, Kweku Asari, says the Assembly members were not compelled to kneel, but they did so to show remorse. He spoke on News Desk on the Joy News channel.
In Ghanaian settings and Akan culture and custom, when you are remorseful, you kneel before your elders to show that sign of remorse. So when the Jasahini, who they had asked to intervene on their behalf, pointed out to them that if they are indeed remorseful, then they should kneel to show it. Then, like I said, all of them to a man knelt before the Almighty to plead for forgiveness. So it's not true that they were compelled.
And that was a member of the Joabin Traditional Council, Kweku Asari there. Meanwhile, Regional Minister Simon Osemensa has denied knowledge of the invasion of military men in armored vehicles at the Joabin Municipal Assembly on Friday. The heavy military presence, according to Assembly members, was intimidating, forcing the members to reschedule the meeting to confirm the President's nominee for MCE, Alex Safo-Kantanka, to Monday.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
And today we're throwing the focus on tricycles, widely known as Aboboya. As you know, the National Road Safety Authority has cited these tricycles as a contributory factor to crashes on the highway. Well, today a ban on the tricycle comes into effect on Accra highways. Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte, who announced this last week, said the move forms part of the Operation Clean Your Frontage initiative. He said the major place of concern for the exercise is the Tema motorway.
All the tricycles will be restricted from using the principal streets, the highways, and others. But what we are saying is that we cannot just wake up and say tomorrow, okay, all our boys stop working. We do not intend to, as it were, deprive them of
the livelihoods.
Exactly. And this is also to regulate their operations and also perhaps to give them the necessary protection that they need.
So that's Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte. Let's head to the motorway and speak to Joy News reporter Michael Ashale, who is gauging the situation on the Tema motorway. Michael, describe to us what you've seen so far.
So, however, like you already mentioned, we've been here since morning. Largely looks like the tricycle users are complying with the directive, except for a few recalcitrant ones who have gone against the directives. To still use them, the highway. We've been trying to speak to some of them, and what they tell me is that it's been very difficult for them to go about their business, particularly those that really cut rubbish or garbage from the main city. Some of them say the main place to offload, they have to come all the way to Cone and in Tema to be able to do that. And for the reason they have to use the highway, they tell me that it's been very difficult trying to maneuver their way through other areas before they get to Cone.
So that's Joy News reporter Michael Papani Ashale there, and according to him, the directive is largely being adhered by these Aboboya riders. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We're taking a short break, but our top story, possible rift between the executive and legislature. Attorney General says Parliament lacks the power to use a resolution to control the process of admission into the Ghana School of Law. After the break, we have sports. Also, we touch base at the Accra International Conference Center, where the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is preparing to wrap up. And later, as the dust settles on the Shatawale Prophecy Hoax shooting incident, we'll tell you why pastors who manhandle members of their church in the name of prophecies and miracles could land in jail.
We are not saying do not do your work. Be careful how quickly you touch people.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aflao. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Koforidia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sunmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrot FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
You're welcome back to the Midday News. I'm Arbor Kumsin, and Muftao Nabila joins me with sports.
President of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreku, wants CAF to change its format of qualifiers to major continental competitions. Kurt described as unfair the current structure where countries or teams are grouped zonally for the qualification series.
They were super good against Nigeria in both games. Unfortunately, the scorelines didn't reflect. But it is normal, especially when the format of the competition does not protect the superpowers of football on the West African coast. And that has been one of my clarion calls at the CAF level. I want the format changed, because Africa must be represented by the best clubs, by the best nations, by the best countries, by the best national teams. And if it is that Ghana has to play against Cameroon, against Nigeria, against Ivory Coast, it is not fair, okay? And I've spoken at varied levels of football in the world, and it's something that I'm going to push until that justice is done.
That is President of the Ghana Football Association, Ketu Kripo.
All right, many thanks for sports. Let's head to the Accra International Conference Center. And patrons who visited the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair say their dilemma to either build or buy a home has been settled. This came easy as exhibitors offered a variety of options for them to choose from. Some of them spoke to Joy News.
It's a beautiful concept. Some of the things you wouldn't see ordinarily in the market, because you can't go to all these places. But it's a one-stop shop, so this is the best idea I can. And I've seen some doors that I think I like very much, and here we are. The guy is willing to give me up to 15% discount. So we'll be talking after the fair, and then we'll see what happens.
As we are starting our building, I've gotten a lot of new ideas. I'm so impressed. I've decided that I'll contact the experts to do the work than relying on the wayside people.
I was confused when I was coming in as to whether to buy or to rent and own or whatever it is. But I'm so convinced now that I have to buy.
So here's some patrons at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Hannah Odame is at the fairgrounds. She joins us with updates on the final day of the fair. What's the atmosphere there, Hannah? Hannah, if you can hear me, what's the atmosphere at the Accra International Conference Center? Unfortunately, we can't get through to Hannah, but we'll be bringing you updates on the fair as it wraps up later today at 8 p.m. Hello, Hannah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Araba.
Great. I was asking about the atmosphere at the Accra International Conference Center as the fair prepares to wrap up today.
Raps, lots of people like what we call last-minute shopping. And so the place is buzzing with lots of patrons coming in to do their last-minute inquiries and negotiations. Some of them whom I met the first day we came here are back, and they are negotiating for the deals that they had on either to buy or to build. And the exhibitors are equally excited that they have been able to be part of the fair, because then they've been able to meet their expectations. And they are saying that they know that all the names and numbers that they have taken, a lot of them are very, very prospective, and they are happy that they will at least help someone to build or to buy.
Hannah Odame there, and you can make your way to the Accra International Conference Center. The fair ends at 8 p.m., so you still have lots of time. Now, students and teachers of the Ghana Senior High School, Koforidua, say the investment by their old students yielded results, earning them a place at the 1/8 stage of the ongoing National Science and Maths Quiz Championship. Ghana Senior High School took and maintained an early lead in the contest with Oforipening Senior High School and Xavier SHS. Listen to the quiz mistress at the end of the contest.
At the end of the contest, these are the scores. Xavier Senior High School had 22 points. Oforipening Senior High School had 37 points. Xavier Senior High School and Oforipening Senior High School. Unfortunately, you did not win this contest.
We can now hear from the students and teachers who say winning their contest is a way of showing gratitude to their old students.
They are doing very great by providing us with the ICT tools and then the router for our research works. We are very grateful, and then I think this will be something that will actually be a form of a gratitude to them.
Okay. The teacher is saying you should call for more. You should call for more. Oliver Twist.
Okay, so we still need their help. We want them to invest more, because we are capable of doing something very.
And now, if you're a pastor, you may want to listen up, because the law is going to come heavy on you if you manhandle members of your church in the name of prophecies and miracles. Under the amended Criminal Offences Act 2020, such a pastor could be charged for assault with imprisonment. Listen to private legal practitioner Asan Kuma.
If I come to your church and I'm under your control and authority, your duress, your influence, and you say I should lie down, I lie down, and you step on my belly, my consent for you to step on my belly is removed by law. So it is assault with battery. That is where you see that I'm hitting you and I actually hit you. Assault without battery is what we will call on the streets Inshabo body. Inshabo body. Hey, I didn't really hit you, but I put you in fear of immediate unpermitted contact with your person. That is also a crime.
So that's legal practitioner, private legal practitioner Ace Ankuma there. That's a warning to the men of God. That's how we end the news today. Our top story: possible rift between the legislature and executive. Attorney General says Parliament lacks the power to use a resolution to control the process of admission into the Ghana School of Law, despite threats that he will be hauled to answer questions should the GLC fail to admit students who met the advertised pass mark. There are more details of his letter to Parliament on myjoyonline.com. My name is Arba Kumsin. Have a lovely afternoon.
Benjamin! Kweku! Nkwadai na wa he? Akwesi!
Auntie Maggie, I don't know what you move from my anopotutu to say.
Pepesa wabua me, na me de momo no, emani sika.
Oh, Auntie Maggie Jaisa. Say momo aye easy cra. Ubetimi afre wo momo. Eno an say obedial 170.